California voters have cast their ballots in a pivotal election that will shape the race to succeed Governor Gavin Newsom and offer an early indication of the political mood in America's most populous state. The results are also being closely watched in Los Angeles, where a mayoral contest featuring incumbent Karen Bass and reality television personality Spencer Pratt has attracted national attention. Well, I'm joined now from LA by Marc Adelman, a long-standing campaign and communications consultant to US Democrats. Marc, it's always great to have you on the show. What's the headline from California?
Well, the headline is, I think we've actually, got some news. We can sort of project, not officially, but who the two candidates are that are going to move into the two slots for governor in November, as well as the mayor's race as well in November. And so that's more than I thought we would have at this point. It looks like Republican Steve Hilton, who is a British expat, and Javier Becerra are going to be our top two in the governor's race. And for the mayor's race, which was pretty expected, it looks like Karen Bass will win the plurality, but not the majority, and Spencer will be the candidate she'll be running against.
Let's just have a look at that, because, of course, Steve Hilton's the famously barefoot advisor to the UK government some time ago.
That's right. I think, look, the registration in California of Democrats to Republicans are pretty sizable disparity. And so for Steve Hilton to actually succeed in November, he would have to take a lot of Democratic votes. And I don't really know anybody that, does this for a living who thinks that this year of all years, a Republican would win the governorship in California. The last time we had a Republican governor was because of the recall in 2003, and that was, of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger. But what it does tell us is that there are a lot of issues in California that voters feel very passionate about, that the world that they are looking at, I think, every day is not the way they would like to see it. And the fact that it's not two Democrats running against each other, because we have this jungle primary system where you can have both, I think is telling and will force Democrats to really look in the mirror about what the future of California looks like, and certainly what the future of the United States looks like.
Let's just come to Los Angeles. How did reality star Spencer Pratt become a serious contender in the mayoral race?
I think Spencer, who has a sort of gift for getting attention and is very accessible as somebody who was and is able to point out a lot of the problems that Los Angelenos are feeling every day. And whether that's homelessness, whether that's drugs, whether that's safety, those are all issues that are very much plaguing many cities in the United States. Certainly Los Angeles is one of them. A lot of the data will tell you that it has gotten better over the last 4 years, but I would say anecdotally, it doesn't feel that way. And coming off the fires, which, devastated the Los Angeles area, Spencer Pratt, this is his raison d'etat for running. He lost his house, his parents lost his house, and felt that the government wasn't there for him. That has definitely catalyzed a lot of people to sort of say, hey, wait, is the government here for me either? I think we've been living in a sort of 10-year era of political disruption. And that obviously is continuing with Spencer being a serious candidate now for the mayor's race.
What do you think that LA really needs in a mayor?
Well, I always like to say the mayor of LA is not the mayor of New York. And the powers that the mayor of New York has, the mayor of LA does not have. I think the culture of LA is very different. The mayor can be in a lot of different places and no one would know. We're not a culture that, is a public transportation city. We're not looking at newsstands everywhere. And so there's a real challenge, I think, for whoever the mayor is to sort of be able to say, this is what I'm doing. This is what's getting better. This is what actually is different from what it was before I got here. And I think that Karen Bass, who I actually think is a very effective public servant, has not always gotten the best out of her in making sure people feel what she has tried to do. And I think also what people feel that she is limited on in some cases. And the fires, I think, is the best example of that. She was not in the city during the fires. And she has said over and over this was her greatest regret and one of her greater mistakes. This was a force majeure kind of event. But, she's paying the price for that. And I do think that when you're an insurgent candidate who's never served in government, like Spencer, it's very easy to point out the problems, but the solutions are much harder. As we said, Los Angeles is the second biggest city in the country. I believe there's 11 million people right here in the metro area. And, we've got a very, I would say, extraneous system with the county and the city, and then, of course, the state. And so it's very hard for one person to come in and wave a magic wand and say, this is going to get better because of this or that. And a lot of the problems that I see in LA, being a native Los Angelino, go back decades and decades. These things didn't happen overnight, and those problems aren't going to be solved overnight. But people want to feel like their mayor is got their back, is in it with them. And I believe that message has been delivered very, very clearly to Karen Bass. And my sense is that she will be reelected in November. But she's learned a few lessons, I think, in this.
Marc, thank you very much indeed. That's Marc Adelman speaking to us from LA.